We're going to talk about a different story that's not anymore, you know, I guess it's happy depending on how you look at it. But it's definitely one that'll invoke a different kind of passion because we had the first trailer for the Jim Henson documentary. Full title is Jim Henson Idea Man. This is coming out on Disney Plus May 31st and the next month. Obviously, Jim Henson created the Jim Henson Company. His
Hello there.
work in
My name is Jim
puppeteering
Henson, and I'm a
spans
puppeteer.
Muppets, Sesame Street, all sorts of entertainment IP. His heyday was a bit before my time. Jim Henson passed away before I was born. I do look forward to watching this documentary. But Greg, I think his work was probably even more impactful in your upbringing than it was mine.
Yeah, I mean, like, this trailer is such a powerful trailer. It's hard not to get emotional watching it. And it's just so disappointing because he was such an impact in that time period, and he died so early, and then everything's kind of like fumbled afterwards. And like you said, you were a little too young for the Muppets. You were was past your time, but like he was like people compare him to like Walt Disney. Like I mean, that's how like huge he was becoming and how fast he was growing in terms of like an entertainer and an educator. Because that's what he was. He was like an educator and an innovator and did all this stuff. He loved public broadcast television, right? And he was just this like force. And like I remember as a kid watching him, like my uncle was a huge Muppet fan, and like that's who I found out when I was like 5. It's like one of the first things I remember watching was the Muppet movie. It was, you know, on VHS.
I missed the Muppet. I mean, I knew like when I was a kid, they were on like the 4th Muppets reboot at that point, and I liked whatever like Muppets thing they had on TV. But for me, it was like Sesame Street. Like Sesame Street was like my Bible as a little kid growing up. Like my mom would tell you the stories, or she would like sit me down in front of the TV to watch Sesame Street. I hear any of those songs, see those characters, or just like the street itself, or those houses, like in New York. It's like instantly back to being like 5 or 6 years old to my earliest memories. And I think that's a testament to his enduring legacy, right? Like Jim Henson died in 1990. I was born in 1998, and still I managed to have like a childhood program that was directly impacted by something he created and put out into the world. Despite the fact that we were not even we were a decade apart in being on this earth at the same time, which as a legacy a lot of people don't get to leave behind. So you know, I think it is unfortunate that he passed as young as he did, but like his work has lived and it continues to live today, you know, and will probably live for many more years after we're all gone as well. But to bring it back to the documentary itself, I'm excited to watch this because I just love documentaries, but I specifically love watching documentaries about stuff that I don't know a lot about. Like it's cool when there's a documentary about something I love or I'm into and I get to like watch it and relish in all the like history. But when it's someone I genuinely don't know much about, like Henson, like I don't know much about like Dark Crystal and Fraggle Rock and stuff like that. So I'm genuinely Labyrinth. So just from like the educational aspect, I'm excited to sit down and watch it and learn some more about all that good stuff.
It's gonna be sad. That's all I know.
I mean, yeah,
it's gonna be very, very sad. Yeah, I just.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a powerful trailer. Like I've never seen a trailer this powerful before. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Also, God, that original Kermit design when he was like that ghostly white color. Kermit came a long way. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, they've got Frank Oz, you know, Yoda himself in there, who's obviously a longtime collaborator. Jim Henson's going to be one of the many people they talk to for this one. Which again, I'm also curious to see all the people they talk to, because obviously a lot of the folks he's collaborated with, who have gone on to have fruitful careers, are still making stuff. Would be very interesting. Also curious, what's his family? What's his like the descendants up to, or his family up to? Are they like involved with this company still, or are they kind of off
like
at this
Disney
point?
obtained. They were already in. Jim Henson was already in talks with Disney in '89 when they bought him. Like before he died, like he would already been talking to Walt Disney because he's gone on record saying that it would be a good platform to get his Muppets to other places because he grew so fast. People forget how fast like he grew and like expanded. And that can be dangerous. Too much growth can be dangerous, right? And the thing about documentaries is I hope that we see the highs and the lows because it's so important to get those in when you're telling a story about somebody, you know?
Yeah, I I mean, I'm curious to see how they do it. There's also like, I believe there's a movie coming out about like SNL. It's called SNL 1975. And it's pretty much like a biopic, but it's about like the first night of SNL, like just the everything that went into like creating that show, bringing it to life. And I believe Um, Jim Henson is like a character in the movie. I guess he was on SNL like on its like first week. Um, I'm gonna look up who's playing him in it 'cause I forget. Nicholas Braun is playing him. Um, Nicholas Braun is a good actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a couple of like projects to kind of feature in some capacity Jim Henson. Obviously in very different forms. This being a documentary and that being a proper narrative movie. But this comes out on May 31st. Greg, I'm gonna assume you're gonna watch this. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're probably gonna watch this and then review it on the show here
Yeah, oh for
for
sure.
us.
For sure. It comes out in a little over a month.
May 31st, baby. Uh, Ozzy says, has Disney Plus done many documentaries? I don't know if they've done many, but they did like the Beatles thing was on one of the Beatles things, like a dozen Beatles documentaries. But I think Disney Plus had a Beatles documentary. They've done Disney Plus has a lot of like companion documentaries, I like to call them, when they'll like make a show, then it's like there's a docu series about like the making of a show or like of a movie, or like they have like the concert movies, which are like kind of documentaries, kind of concert films. So they have a lot of like documentary adjacent stuff, I would say. But this is probably going to be their highest profile one to date. I would imagine, unless I'm
Oh, dude, it probably was in
forgetting
production
something
for
obvious.
years, years and years and years. You know, like just gathering all
Oh
that
yeah,
footage. It takes so long. Like we talk about like 4 years of work for an hour and a half. You know, like it's rough. But like it's
yeah. Oh, they have a okay. They also had like a documentary called Howard about the guy who did the music for like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Mermaid. So they've got some a library of original stuff there, similar to their other programming. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. I remember hearing when they announced this was happening, and then it felt like it was quiet for a while, and then the documentary just kind of popped up yesterday. I saw it on good old Twitter and bookmarked it for our show today. So that'll be a good one to watch. Very much looking forward to talking about that next month. Now, Greg, a trailer that might make you equally emotional
we're gonna
is
go from
one
one
for the
extreme
upcoming.
emotional to the other. Great.